You know what my friend Senator Tom Coburn of Oklahoma calls it? He calls it a gateway drug. It's a gateway to corruption. And I don't say that word lightly, but we have former members of Congress residing in federal prison who embarked in this process and ended up basically selling themselves for various earmarked projects. And it's like any other evil. Any other evil we all know in life, you either eradicate it or it grows. And that's what's happened with this pork barrel spending. You know, the other night I joked about one of my favorites, the $3 million to study the DNA of bears in Montana. Now, as I said, I don't know if it's a paternity issue or a criminal issue, but it makes you laugh and it makes you cry. Because it's your money. It's your money. $233 million for a bridge in Alaska to an island with 50 people on it. How do you justify that when next time you're stuck in traffic? And and it's your money. So let me say this. The time is ripe in America for us, one, to stop that. Two, for us to work together. Work together for the good of the country in these difficult times. I was asked this morning by someone who said, well, China's going to be a bigger and more powerful country than the United States of America. I said, I don't accept that. I don't accept that. I think that the most productive and best and most innovative part of the United States of America is the United States of America. And by the way, there's another person here who I'd like for you to say hello to, and I think she is, I don't see Meg Whitman is here. Meg, where are you? That's Meg Whitman. Meg Whitman, as you know, is the CEO of eBay. These numbers are roughly correct. 12 years ago, there were 5 people that worked for eBay. Today, 1.5 million people make a living off eBay. Now, you tell Meg Whitman that America's best days are behind us. I think she can make a case that that's not true. So all I can say is that I've got an old pen that Ronald Reagan gave me years ago, and I'm going to veto every one of these bills, and you're going to know their names. I will make them famous. You'll know every one of them's names. And if they override my veto, I'll veto the next one. That's how we're going to do it. Yes, ma'am.
I heard a rumor that you're going to pick a pro-life VP. Is that true?
Thank you. We're going through the process. I said on Saturday night that I have a proud pro-life record in Congress, and I am proud of that. I respect the views of others, but I also happen to believe that the noblest words ever written in history were those that said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all of us are created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life. I think liberty and the pursuit of happiness. I believe that life applies to those that are not born as well as those that are born. And so we're not talking about the process of the vice presidential situation, except that I would remind you that the vice president of the United States really only has 2 duties when you think about it. One is in case there's a tie vote in the Senate, he or she comes to the floor of the Senate and casts the tie-breaking vote. That's the constitutional duty. The other duty of the Vice President of the United States is to inquire daily as to the health of the President. So that will obviously make my pick very important. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He's going to bring it right there. These are work release program people here, so they're doing a great job.
Yes, Senator McCain, I truly hope you get the opportunity to chase bin Laden right to the gates of hell and push him in, as you stated on your form. I do have a question, though. The disabled veterans, especially in this state, have horrible conditions. Their medical is substandard, They drive 4 hours one way to Albuquerque for a simple doctor's appointment, which is often canceled. Our VA hospital is dirty, it's understaffed, it's running on maximum overload. The prescription medicines are 10 years behind standard medical care. We have 700 claims stacked up at the VA office in Albuquerque. Some of them are 10 and 7 years old, waiting to be processed. In the meantime, these people are homeless. My son is an officer in the Air Force. I'm a vet, and I was raised in a military family. And I think it's a sorry state of affairs when we have illegal aliens having a Medicaid card that can access specialists, top physicians, the best of medical, and our vets can't even get to a doctor. And these are the people that we tied yellow ribbons for and Bush patted on the back. If we don't reenact the draft, I don't think we'll have anyone to chase bin Laden to the gates of hell.
Ma'am, let me say that I don't disagree with anything you said, and thank you. And I'm grateful for your support of all of our veterans. I carry with me quite often a quote from George Washington in 1789. He said, "The willingness with which young Americans will serve their country in future wars is directly related to the treatment of those who have previously served and sacrificed in conflict." He was right in 1789, and he's right today. All too often, our veterans do not receive the care that they have earned. And the scandal of Walter Reed is a blot on the honor of the United States of America, and we can never let it happen again. Now, here's what I make as short as possible. Our veterans have earned our highest priority. And yet we know that there is also routine health care needs that veterans have that, in my view, they should not have to go to the VA to receive, okay? We have, tragically and unfortunately in this war, a dramatic, we're going to have a lot of PTSD. We also have severe combat injuries because, thank God, we're able to get the wounded from the battlefield to medical treatment more quickly than any time in history. But that puts an increased burden on our military medical care as well as our VA. So, you mentioned Albuquerque VA, I believe. I could take you to the Albuquerque VA or the Phoenix VA quite often, and the waiting room is crowded. The veterans are standing in line to stand in line to get an appointment, That's not the fault of the people that work there. The people that work there are some of the finest in the world. It's just that they are overloaded. So we have to focus our attention, expand our capability to treat PTSD, combat-related injuries, brain injuries, etc., that we're best at. And for a veteran with a routine health care need, why shouldn't we give that veteran a card and take it to the health care provider or the doctor of their choice and get the routine health care that they need? That's what... And that way, we could utilize the VA and the military medical system to its greatest effect and also relieve this burden. I don't ever again want to have a veteran to stand in line to get an appointment, That's just not acceptable in America. And again, I do praise the people who work there. They're some of the most dedicated people I've ever known in my life. The problem is there are just not enough of them. Yes, ma'am.
Senator McCain, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for coming to Las Cruces. And Senator Obama tends to be the favorite among college students. And as a college student, I feel that you do care about us because we